In this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how you can start a successful Amazon wholesale business. From finding your first distributor to going through pricing sheets to placing your first order, a lot of this is going to feel really complicated on the first go around. So by the end of this video, you'll be a lot more confident in going out, finding distributors, and knowing what to look for when you do get price sheets. But if you're brand new to the channel, my name's Warner Fields from SellerAmp, and it's our goal with the channel to equip you guys with the tools and the knowledge that you need to go out and crush selling on Amazon. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start talking about how you can find your first distributors to work with on your business. We're going to go ahead and jump into the computer over here in just a second, but I do want to give you a quick preface. Starting an Amazon wholesale business is a lot of work. Don't sell on Amazon if you're not willing to work hard. Click away from the video. If you're willing to work hard, and especially if you're really good over the phone, starting a wholesale business is a great way to start selling on Amazon. And the key to building a successful wholesale business is going to be leveraging relationships and really just calling as many suppliers as humanly possible so that you know when you're getting the best prices. You're able to kind of negotiate with other suppliers based on what you know about those specific items. And so if you want to take this business seriously, do not stop even for a second until you call 50 to 100 distributors. And then before you start picking up the phone, I would recommend that you go ahead and have an EIN with the IRS, set up some kind of business organization. A lot of these wholesalers are going to want to see either an LLC or a local business license, all that kind of stuff, just making sure you're legit, you know what you're talking about. And then a lot of times you're also going to need a resale permit as well so that we're able to buy items from wholesalers, tax exempt, so that the government basically knows that we're going to just resell that so we don't have to pay sales tax ourselves on that. So let's just go ahead and start breaking down how you can find a couple suppliers for your business. At the start, you're going to have no leads, you're going to have no connections, anything like that. And so one of the best ways to find distributors, let's say you're in the New York area or you're somewhere in this area, I'm a big fan of starting with local distributors. A lot of my friends who do wholesale are big fans of doing local distribution first. So let's say you're living in the New York area, you want to sell makeup, just do a quick like New York makeup distributor on Google Maps, see what comes up, right? So from here, we'd just be looking around and seeing which of these are actually distributors. So this right here, this could be a real distributor. Let's go ahead and open them up. This guy right here, these buy low distributors, why not? Let's check them out as well. Really, we're just looking for companies that have a lot of different brands, a lot of different options for us to look into. I bet I can't imagine there's very many warehouses and stuff in Manhattan, so we'll probably skip those. Those are a lot of like retail stores and stuff. We could see if this is a distributor. Yeah, it could be a distributor. It's like a house. It's worth checking through to see what these sites actually look like. So starting from this one right here, looks like they've got a lot of different brands for us to choose from. A lot of these distributors that are easier to find are not going to be the ones that have the best pricing. So these are going to kind of be your entry-level distributors, a great way to get your foot in the door and just start placing some orders. A lot of these smaller distributors can also be a good place to place some like closeout orders. So you're not necessarily able to buy it over and over again, but it's kind of like clearance, but wholesale. So you're buying much bigger at scale clearance basically. It looks like in this case they may even be buying from some closeouts, that kind of stuff. And in this case, looks like our minimum order quantity is about $1,500. So that's just like the perfect kind of distributor you want to start reaching out to as a brand new wholesaler. So imagine if we go to the contact us section, it's gonna have a phone number. You could also shoot them an email. Pretty much with distributors, you're always better off calling their number. I found a little bit of success if you want to go brand direct for wholesale with email. With distributors, the phone number is usually the way to go. So just call these guys up, say, hey, we run a retail company, we're interested in carrying your products. It's up to you whether or not you want to mention that you're an Amazon seller right away. That scares away a lot of distributors. Some of these smaller distributors like this are pretty used to selling to people who sell online. Just keep in mind that a lot of wholesalers don't like Amazon sellers. So if you are going to mention it, make sure there's some way you can add value to them by being an Amazon seller, right? Gives them an extra way to sell their products, all that kind of stuff. So I just go ahead and call up this phone number, say, hey, we want to open up an account with you guys. What information do you need, and can I get a price sheet? As soon as humanly possible, you want to get price sheets from these companies. That's the goal, right? And we want to see if their pricing is even close to where it would be profitable for us to sell on Amazon. Same thing we could look over on a website like this one. A lot of these distributor websites are going to look super sketchy, but they're not in the business of being Amazon. They're not Walmart. They're not Target, right? They don't have to have beautiful websites. And a lot of the best wholesalers out there have super ugly white websites or like no site at all. So don't be scared if the site looks like you're about to get scammed, because you can do it all over the phone, a little bit by email as well. So we could even check here, see if they've got some kind of contact, like, open an account with us form. So sign up for an account, click my account. So right here, this could be something that you guys could go check this out, see if this wholesaler is worth making any money off of. Minimum orders like 750. So again, it's a very like beginner friendly wholesaler, I'd say. And then if you're in this area, it looks like you can also get free shipping, which is a very nice benefit. So I imagine the pricing here might be a little bit higher. Maybe you can negotiate that down, say, hey, what happens if we spend 20 grand with you guys? What happens if we spent 10 grand with you guys? Can we get 5%? Can we get 10%? All that kind of stuff is a great way to add to your margin here. So once again, on this wholesaler, it looks like you can just kind of sign up through their website, start getting access to those prices. And then this one could be another place to, shoot them a message on WhatsApp or whatever, call them up, see what kind of brands they have. Looks like a lot of this stuff are brands that do decent on Amazon. So this could be another one that's worth looking into, right? Another thing you can do is the glaringly obvious answer of just Googling it, right? So just type in New York distribution, or like, health and beauty wholesale distributors, New York. Like, a lot of people are doing these searches, you can tell. So here's a new wholesaler that we didn't see before. We could check this guy out. And there's that Stealth International we just saw. This doesn't seem to be the right kind of thing. You're looking for these guys who are like wholesale and distribution, not necessarily like under $1 bargain. Like, that's not usually the types of wholesalers you want to go after. This is a wholesale directory site. So I'm not seeing a ton off the top of the list here. So this JJJ distributors could be another thing that's worth looking into. All of these guys, you're going to call them up, kind of ask them what brands they carry, ask them the categories that they're heaviest in, see if they're going to share like the brands that they sell the most of. A lot of these distributors, the more they sell of a certain brand, the lower price they get, the lower price you can negotiate with them. So make sure you're buying from the distributor that's buying a lot from the actual parent company, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, if you can get higher and higher up on the supply chain, up to the master distributors or all the way up to the brand themselves, if you got a ton of money and you want to work like directly with these giant national conglomerates, then more power to you. Another one here, we could just open up a wholesale account. It looks like in this case, they just want us to send an email. So there's plenty and plenty of options here, right? A lot of these wholesalers are going to be junk, especially the ones that are really easy to find, like the ones we just found. I'd be surprised if you could spend a ton of money profitably with these wholesale suppliers, but it all comes in the relationship building, right? So let's say you open an account with one of these guys, you find some products you can spend 5-10 grand a month with, and then you start spending money there. You start saying, hey, we're looking for XYZ brand. You guys don't carry it. Do you know anybody else who carries that brand? So then you can start kind of opening some doors, doing the same thing where you're talking to the actual brands that you want to sell. Say, hey, what distributors do you guys sell to? You can start working your way down the value chain there, see if you can get as high as possible, get the lowest prices possible. And as you're pulling up all of these distributors, make sure you are calling them up, and don't give up until you call like 50, 100 distributors. There's going to be a very low success rate and an even lower success rate in terms of suppliers that are actually worth your time, worth going ahead and placing orders with. But the work with wholesale is extremely front loaded. So as soon as you find that wholesaler where you can spend 10-20 grand a month with, kind of over and over and over again, that just kind of becomes an asset for your business, where if you're spending 10 to 20 grand, you're probably making 3 to 6 grand a month off that. So you can just stack that 3 to 6 grand in profit, find another distributor, do the exact same thing, and you can see how the snowball rolls very, very quickly there. And so once you do start opening up these wholesale accounts, I want to go ahead and show you kind of the simple process that you can use to start figuring out which items are actually worth looking into, which items you might actually be interested in buying. I've gone ahead and pulled up kind of an EE distribution. It's a super popular distributor. A lot of people use this site to get ungated in some brands, that kind of stuff. I've never had too much success trying to do legitimate wholesale from here, just because it is so easy to get an account. So many people who know about it, that it is difficult to squeeze profit for Amazon. But that doesn't defeat the purpose of kind of showing you guys what to look for. And so this is where I start using SellerAmp very heavily. So we can actually right click any of the products on the website. I know a lot of people are really afraid to source through wholesale sheets when there's not a specific UPC list with the prices listed, all that kind of stuff. But using SellerAmp and doing a little bit of manual sourcing is going to be a great way to go that extra mile. Think about how many other sellers out there are running into websites like this one, where maybe you can't get access to a price sheet. We may be able to get a price sheet from EE, but a lot of sites are going to look like this and they don't have price sheets. And so many people are going to give up. They're not going to go the extra mile to look through each and every one of those products, but you will, right? That's going the extra mile. That's kind of building that moat around your business, taking the extra step that other people won't take. And so when we right click using Smart Search on SellerAmp, we can see kind of the products that we might be looking at for that particular title. And we can see right away if that product is on Amazon, see if it's worth investigating further. And I don't see this white color here. I think a lot of this stuff is kind of order into the future. So we can see if any of this stuff already has Amazon listings. So checking out this little backpack here. This could be something that's a little bit more interesting, right? So we are paying like 23 bucks a piece, but we'd have to be buying these for less than 18 to meet our profit standards according to SellerAmp. There's also no BSR. So we'd probably want to keep moving on. But just for the sake of the example, let's say we look at this, price is, I don't know, 15 bucks. It's right in there in our max cost range. We could go ahead and examine further here. We could start seeing if there's any kind of sales going on this. I don't see any sales rank chart. So in this case, I don't think this item is ever sold on Amazon. Maybe that changes around Christmas or something like that. But in this case, it's not worth investigating just because those prices are so close to retail. So just checking out a couple more of these. So once again, just right clicking, clicking SaaS search, and then it's going to try to find that exact product for us. This could be the same thing. Again, I think this is an unknown BSR, so we'd keep on moving. Let's check out this one, right click, SaaS search. And we're just trying to see if we can find these listings on Amazon at all for the most part. So this one, we're getting a little bit closer. It's a high sales rank, so we can see it's the top 4% of toys and games. It's probably selling 15 to 20 times a month, maybe a little bit faster coming into Christmas. We're buying these for $4.68 or $4.14, selling them for about $10. You could do like small and light on this and potentially make some money, but in this case, it's probably not worth looking into just because that bestseller rank is so high. Let's keep clicking through here. Like I said, it's unlikely we're going to find anything super worth it on this particular site, but this is the exact process I would do on those other wholesalers that are worth your time. So pulling this guy up over here, I think this looks to be him. It looks like Amazon's on this listing. So this one is selling pretty well. Amazon's on it, so we'd want to ignore it. One thing we could check on as we come closer to Q4, coming into Christmas, is to see if Amazon has ever had any problems staying in stock on this listing. So we can go down here to the charts feature on SellerAmp, zoom out a little bit. And it looks like there was actually not a listing for this product last Christmas. So a lot of times what I would check for is, maybe last January, Amazon went in and out of stock. And when Amazon was out of stock, this item was going for $30 or something. And customers really wanted this particular action figure or whatever. In this case, the listing isn't old enough to know if Amazon's going to have trouble staying in stock this Christmas. So I would go ahead and keep moving on here. I'm skipping over a lot of this like coming in. A lot of this probably isn't even for sale on Amazon. So why don't we check out this one? So these are actually really expensive, like $100 per helmet. Looks like they might be going on Amazon for like $130, $120, whichever one of these. I think it's this one right here. There's a lot of sellers on this as well. We can check out the charts on this one as well. If we pull up SellerAmp over here, zooming down here to the charts, once again, I would just be looking to see how this item behaved last Christmas, if it was a listing last Christmas. And it looks like last Christmas, there seems to have been way less competition. So we may see a lower price this Christmas. December 2021, this price was like $250 last Christmas. I think Mandalorian stuff was probably a little bit more popular last Christmas, probably encouraging the price to go a little higher. A lot more sellers this year, as we can see. Last Christmas, there was like 40 to 50 sellers down to like 20 something. Already this year, there's like 121. So maybe people found this on clearance or something like that. This would probably be something we would go ahead and skip on. But you can see what we're looking for, right? We're just going ahead and right clicking here, trying to pull it up in SaaS, trying to see if the item is actually even for sale on Amazon. So for example, this guy right here, probably not for sale on Amazon yet, just because it's like Halloween, that kind of thing. And so when we do that, we can see right away that this item, just nothing even close to that item is for sale on Amazon. So we would immediately be able to keep scrolling instead of wasting our time pasting it into Amazon, trying to figure out if the item's on Amazon. Really just saves you a lot of time as you're looking through these websites. So the same thing goes when you're looking through wholesalers that did provide a pricing sheet. This is a price sheet I got from one of the distributors we've opened an account with. Same thing goes on all these price sheets. You can just go ahead and click on any of these short descriptions in the product titles. We can go ahead and open up SaaS over here and then just go ahead and start copying this, paste it into SellerAmp, and see if these items are even close to where we need them to be. So if this is the same thing, I don't think this is even the same brand. So we'd probably keep on moving. Wish Me, Light Up Unicorn. Yeah, these are also really high bestseller ranks, so it's hard to know what we're looking at. But very, very similar kind of decision-making process to what we were doing on the last one. And once again, it's just saving us so much time to not have to click through to Amazon, come back, see what we're looking for. So this, what do we got here? Some kind of dog flip-a-zoo. I've never even heard of these kind of things. So this could be something a little bit more interesting if we're buying this for $325 over here. I'm not sure if this is the same item. There's probably a UPC on this list as well. And a lot of people, when they get this list, they would run it into a product scanner. So, you plug it into whatever software you want to use, plug in the UPC, plug in the price, all that kind of stuff, and it'll scrape these lists automatically. That's great. I would recommend you do that, but manually sourcing through these lists is going to be the absolute best thing you can do, because those softwares are always going to miss stuff. Using SellerAmp to kind of help you go a lot faster while you're manually sourcing. That's exactly what we do to try to make sure we're finding every last little bit of profit it, because again, that's going the extra mile, going that extra step that other people aren't taking. Going to manually source through all this takes a lot of work, right? So a lot of people aren't going to try to replicate that. So pulling up this item, it seems like kind of a white puppy. We can see if the UPC was the same, ending in 382. This ends in 382, so it is the same thing. Consistently sells for a little closer to like $13. It also is a pretty slow seller, but just for the sake of the example, it's worth looking at. So we were buying this for $325 plus some shipping, all that kind of stuff. Probably not really worth it unless this brand started selling way better come Christmas time. We'd be running $2 profit plus probably another 50 cents or so in shipping. So it's probably just not worth it in this case. But you can just continue to do this, looking through all of these price sheets here. So, going down the line, this LOL surprise, see what kind of prices they are on Amazon. So it looks like 12 and 12, another 12. We need to be buying these for $3.50. Our wholesaler over here is pricing them at $7, so we're not even close. Maybe if this was, $3.95, we could say, hey, can you get this down to $3.50 for us? And then we'd buy 200 units or whatever. Really it'd be based on the bestseller rank, all that kind of stuff. But going through using SellRep right here is a great way to really expedite your sourcing process, especially manually sourcing, making sure you're not missing anything, getting every last drop of profit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got a ton of value out of it. If you want to kind of have access to that data using SellRep the same way we're doing in this video, so you can start your wholesale business to be a lot more efficient, there's gonna be a link down below for a 2-week free trial of SellRep. Go ahead and give us a try. If you guys do have any questions, feel free to drop those down below. We're always happy to answer those for you guys. But I really appreciate you watching this video, and we will see you next time.